Also reach out to us on WhatsApp. Both the numbers are flashing on your screens right now, viewers. And on the show now, we are joined by Manish Chaudhary, Head of Research at Stocksbox on the fundamentals, and Ravi Singh, SVP Retail Research, Reliance Broking on the technicals. Welcome to the show, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, and with that, let's go across to the first query of our show. Jay Kishan is writing to us from Gwalior. He's saying that he's bought 4,000 shares of Network 18 at 80 a piece. So, before going ahead with the query, he hasn't mentioned although whether he's looking for a long-term view or a short-term view. But Network 18 reported a loss of 1,400 crore in the December quarter, while its revenue from operations was 1,360 crore rupees, which is not comparable with the year-ago period due to the merger of its subsidiary Viacom 18 and Star India. However, on a consolidated basis, it faced a loss of 1,425 crore rupees there. So let me just come across to you, Ravi. How is Network 18 looking on the charts?
Himakshi ma'am, there is nothing to about the charts, because overall trend is down and stock is suffering from higher zones. So overall structure is very poor. My suggestion is that take exit at current level, because it still is in downtrend is continue, and it may achieve the target of 40 or 45 rupees. So from higher sides, there is a very strong resistance around 58 to 60 rupees. So there is no point to invest in this stock. Better to take exit.
All right. And Manish, what do you have to say on it? Do you also have the same opinion on it?
Yeah, I think I agree with the view. I think there is a lot of negative news flows around the stock.
Okay.
Despite the merger happening, I don't see the company moving to a positive profit trajectory. Also, if you see in the past, the shareholding, the institutional shareholding has also decreased drastically. So I think it's better to exit the stock and move to something better.
Any recommendations there?
I think in the media space, I believe I'm not very confident about the media space at this point in time. I would rather prefer some other sectors like telecom, for example.
Right.
In that, I feel Bharti Airtel would be a stock which I think can be held from a one-year perspective.
All right. Okay, with that, let's go across to another query on WhatsApp. Amrendra has written to us saying that he wants to buy Garware Technical, or he has bought, because he hasn't clearly mentioned there, Garware Technical, but he's looking for a 1 or 2 year price target. Manish, if you would like to take that one.
I think Garware on a fundamental basis looks good. I think if you look at the return ratios, the profitability, I think it has been on an improving trend. Also, I feel going forward, the demand for its products are going to increase, and I would not be surprised to see an upside of around 25 to 30% in this stock from a one-year perspective.
Okay, so that's the view coming in on Garware Technical. Now we are getting a caller from Guntur. Hi, Tarak Ram.
Hi, madam.
Good evening. Please go ahead with your query.
Madam, I have about CG Power 4,000 shares at the rate of 682 average.
Yes.
So for long term, when Wasat is commissioning, till the time I want to hold these shares. And my question is, can I add more shares at this price?
But Tarak Ram, I'd like to confirm it again that you've bought it at 682 and you've bought 4,000 shares?
CG Power.
CG Power. Yes. So I can see that you're sitting on a loss of almost 2.20 lakh there. So which is a big amount. Do you still want to add more onto this? But I'll get you a long-term view on it. Manish, what do you have to say on CG Power? Because as we can see that he's already sitting on a very big loss there.
I think from a fundamental perspective, I think this is a typical case of a turnaround story where the debt restructuring has happened. And in the last few years, I think 2 to 3 years, the company has moved into the profitability trend also. I think, as the viewer rightly said, that the commissioning of a plant is expected going forward. So I think the earnings trajectory would improve also. But the point concerning at this point is the valuation of CG Power at the current levels looks too expensive. I think the viewer has entered this stock at very high levels. I think if he has a patience to hold this stock from at least 2 year perspective, I think it's a good hold from these levels. But I would not suggest to add at the current levels.
Right.
Also,
also, please go ahead.
One more point to add. I think if you see the holding of FIs and DI into this stock, I think it has increased. So I think with the kind of debt restructuring which has happened and the earnings trajectory which is expected to improve, I think someone with a long-term view can still hold on to this stock.
Okay, so that's the view coming in on CG Power. That's a hold for long term. And with that, we're getting a caller from Kerala. Hi, Kanan. How can we help you?
Yeah, hi. So I am looking for a view regarding Motilal Oswal Financial Services.
Okay.
So I hold 100 shares at an average price of 907.
Yes. 907?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I am looking for a long-term view of 2 to 3 years.
All right. And when did you buy, if I may ask?
I bought a month back.
A month back. Okay. So Manish, again, a long-term query. What do you have to say on Motilal Oswal? How are the fundamentals of Motilal Oswal looking like? Because the investor is planning to hold it for a long term.
I think the fundamentals of the overall broking industry looks good from a longer term perspective. In the short term, due to the SEBI regulations surrounding the FNO which has come into the play, I think this quarter and the next quarter, I think the earnings across the broking firms would be a little tepid. But if someone is willing to hold it from a 1 to 2 year perspective, I feel that it's a play on the equity finalization which is happening in the country, and I think from a longer term perspective, it's a hold.
Right. Although he asked for a long-term view, but I'd also like to get a short-term view on it. Ravi, what do you have to say on Motilal Oswal?
See, ma'am, I'm a strategist, so I can suggest accordingly. And there is a good theme into the stock market. So this point of time, stock is in corrective zone. That is the fact, and it can be test the level of 700 and 680 levels. So this point of time, I just take an exit and wait for the 682 or 700 levels, because this is a huge money, and we will enter again once it achieve the target of 700. So this I think better you take your strategy update according to the market condition.
Right. So that's the view coming in on Motilal Oswal by Ravi. Now we're getting a caller from Chennai. Hi, Pramod. How can we help you? Pramod, can you hear me? I think we've lost the line there with Pramod, but we have his query. He is holding 15 shares of Happiest Minds at 970 and holding it for 1 year, need prospect of share. So as I can see that if I talk about the last 6-month picture of Happiest Mind, the stock has been down over 12% there, and currently it's trading at 724 levels. If I can see how it performed today, yes, so it was down almost, it was flat, but what do you have to say? I'd like to get both the technical and fundamental view on Happiest Minds, starting with you, Ravi. How is Happiest Minds looking on the charts?
See, ma'am, I don't think so. Stock may correct more than 5 to 10% from the current level. But point is that when you invest in a stock market, then there is a target is you have to earn, right? So in this competition, I can suggest one stock. There is very strong fundamental and very strong technical chart, that is NIT Limited, one stock, and the second is a Scient. So what I do, I suggest please change your position into NIT or maybe Scient, because they have a more comparative, they have a more strong chart and they have a enough time to do from the positive side. So better to switch your position. Fact is that market is still down, but these stocks maybe give a good return in next couple of months.
Right. And Manish, what's your outlook on Happiest Minds?
I think in Happiest Mind, I think the biggest overhang on the stock is the promoters selling the counter. So I think that is the biggest overhang on the stock, and also the profitability of the company has been on a declining trend, and the company at the kind of valuation it trades at, I think there are better plays in the IT space at a more reasonable valuation, and my top picks from that space would be Infosys, the first one, and secondly, I think that Mahindra also looks good at this point in time.
Okay, so that's a view coming in now. Now we are getting a caller from Vizag. Hi, Sai. Sai, good evening. How can we help you? Sai, I would request you to please turn down the volume of your television unit there, because I'm not able to hear you properly. I think we've lost the line of Sai there, but we have his query with us. He's bought 170 shares of Ujjivan Small Finance Bank at 38 rupees. So he's looking for a short-term view on it. Ravi, how is Ujjivan Small Finance faring on the charts?
Ma'am, that's why everybody calling to ask profit, because we are giving
Yes,
here
absolutely.
to the investments, right? So my
Yes, yes.
suggestion is that Ujjivan Small Finance Bank is no point to hold at this point of time, because the stock is still in the corrective zone. But you have another good option is South Indian Bank. Right now is trading 26, so you can buy more share compared to the Ujjivan Finance. The target would be the South Indian Bank is 38 to 40 rupees in next 6 to 8 months, and put the stop loss of 22 rupees. So that is a good strategy. Switch your portfolio and earn your profit.
So switch your portfolio to South Indian Bank is what Ravi is suggesting. We are getting a caller now from Bengaluru. Hi, Zenith.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Please go ahead with the query.
Yeah, I'm currently holding Swiggy shares, 400.
Okay.
At average price of 545 rupees.
Right.
And I'd like to know any specific reason it started showing downward trend, because I don't see any specific reason or news. As a matter of fact, most of the brokerages houses are quite positive on it. And I'd like to know how much more will it fall, and in the next 3 months, 6 months, what should be the potential? And should I follow the strategy of sell on rise and buy on dip, or I can hold for long term as well?
All right. And Zenith, why did you go for Swiggy in the first place? And
well, I'd like to write that new age platform business, and it looks lucrative. I know this is newly listed and still not profitable, but you have to take some bet, right?
yeah, of course.
Pretty good.
I'm glad that you've done your bit of research there, and we are getting queries on Swiggy and Zomato almost every day, and so I'd like to take both again short-term and long-term view on it. Starting with you, Manish, how are the fundamentals of Swiggy looking like? And again, if compared it with Zomato, what would be your take?
I think first of all, everyone needs to understand that the stock price is always a slave of earnings. So I think for Swiggy, I think the earnings is still, the profitability is still a few quarters away. And with the kind of the dark store expansion which it has planned for FY25 and FY26, I feel that the profitability could be pushed further away. So if I want to compare Zomato and Swiggy, I think the food delivery business of both these companies are mostly comparable. I think Zomato has a upper hand in the quick delivery, where the Blinkit has scaled up nicely, with it also turning EBITDA positive. Also, Zomato has some other segments which should start contributing to the bottom line going forwards, especially the hyper pure business and the recently acquired ticketing business. So I feel Zomato, if someone gets it around 200 to 220 levels, I think that would be an ideal buying zone for Zomato. And my sense is that it is better to exit Swiggy and enter Zomato in those kind of levels.
So, exit Swiggy and enter Zomato is the view coming in by Manish. And Ravi, what do you have to say on it?
Himakshi ma'am, trend is your friend. I can say that better you enjoy the discounts and coupons and order the food, enjoy your food, but don't invest in these both of the stocks, because it may you may see correction around 20 to 25% from the current level. So better don't enter in these stocks and enjoy the coupons and order the food. That is the good strategy.
Well, that's a good strategy indeed. Now we are getting a caller from Surat. Hi Rajesh, good evening.
Hi.
Please go ahead with your query.
My question is, I have got Reliance at 1500 rupees,
Right.
100 shares. Should I hold or should I sell?
And
I
when
am in loss of 250.
Yeah, I can see that you're sitting at a loss of 23,000 there almost. Now, and when did you buy it in the very first place?
2 to 3 months back.
Okay, so it's a recent purchase there. And you're looking for a short-term view?
No, I can hold it.
Okay,
yes,
you can
I'm
hold
looking
it.
for short-term. Short-term.
Short-term, okay. I'll get you
Yeah,
both,
yeah.
short-term and long-term view. Coming to you, Ravi, how is Reliance faring on the charts?
Recently we have seen one breakout on 15-minute chart to 20-minute chart. So better to hold the position, and you can add on once it cross above 1280 level. So the next target would be the 1380 to 1400 level. So better hold your position. Put the stop loss of 1220 rupees.
Right. And Manish, what do you have to say, as Reliance is also about to come up with its Q3 earnings? So what do you have to say on it?
Yeah, so I think the earnings are expected any time now.
Yeah.
I feel the earnings would be good sequentially. There are three reasons to it. I think the O2C business is going to perform well because the GRMs have improved. Secondly, in the telecom business, the tariff hikes which had happened in July, I think the complete effect would come into this earnings. And the retail business, due to the December quarter being a festive quarter, I think the trajectory there should also be very strong. So I think overall the number should come good. And also, if someone is willing to hold from a 1 year perspective, I think the IPO of the telecom business could come in 2025. That could do some value unlocking. And also, we would have more clarity on the new energy business of Reliance, which should again give an upward thrust to this stock from a medium to long-term perspective.
Right. Thank you so much for that view. Now we're getting a caller from Hyderabad. Hi, Ram. How can we help you?
Hi, madam. Good evening.
Good evening. Thanks for speaking to NDTV Profit.
Yeah. Thank you, madam. I have a Hindustan Construction company purchased last month at the rate of 46,000 shares, madam. I'm a small investor.
Yes.
For short term, for 6 months, I have bought it.
So
it's a infra company, na?
Yes, because I can see that you're sitting on a loss of 24,000 there.
Exactly,
in
madam.
just 1 month. So,
Yes.
so Ravi, what do you have to say to our viewer there? who's sitting
Yeah,
on a loss of 24,000.
Yeah, Ram sir, please hold your position because don't panic in this stock because this stock has a territory to 40 achieve the target of 42 rupees to 45 rupees and right now is in trading at support. So better hold your position, put the stop loss of 30 rupees and the next target would be the 44 to 48 rupees. You can do also once it cross 35. Please note down the levels. Once it's crossed 35 level, then if you have some money, you just add in this stock, and once it achieve the target, then you would be then in profit. So better put this strategy in this stock.
So I hope, Ram, your query has been answered there. With that, With that, we'll go across to another caller from Hyderabad. Sudhakar is calling. Hi, Sudhakar.
Hi. Good evening.
Good evening. Please go ahead with your query. Sorry?
My name is Sudhakar.
Yes. Please go ahead with your query.
I have got PG Electroplast, average rate 908. 50 shares I have got.
Okay.
50 shares I have got.
Yes.
Can you kindly tell me what is the stop loss for this share, madam?
Have you recently bought it?
Yes. Very recently I bought it at 1,000 and average it to 908.
Okay. So looking for a long-term view.
Long-term investor.
Yeah. All right.
Actually, EMS sector is very good. That's why I have taken this.
Yeah.
During the 13th January, when there was a drop in the price.
Okay. So Manish, coming straight to you on this, how are the fundamentals of PG Electroplast looking like?
I think it operates in the EMS space. So the total addressable market for the overall sector is huge. The company has been consistently reporting good earnings as well. But the point here is the stock has run up almost 10x in 1 year. So I think most of the positives are priced in at this levels. And the valuation of the stock, if I want to talk about, I think the multiple, the price to earning multiple is above 100. So I feel the trajectory, the long-term outlook is positive, but I would not suggest someone to enter at this price as the valuation has taken care of all the positives which can come in the near term. So I would suggest a sell at the current level.
Okay, so that's a sell coming in on the stock. Now we're getting a caller from Delhi. M. Das Gupta, a very regular caller, is calling us. Hi, Mr. Gupta, how can we help you?
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
I would like to first extend my best wishes to your esteemed panel.
Thank you so much.
Such informative insights into stocks.
We are very glad that we are able to help you with all your queries.
And it is very helpful for investing. My query for today is...
Yes.
Shall I tell my query?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Ma'am, I am holding Cochin Shipyards.
Okay.
60 shares, 60.
Right.
60 shares purchased at the average price of 216.
Yes.
So I want to hold it for long term.
Okay.
3 years plus.
And when did you buy it, Mr. Gupta?
I buy it during the IPO.
Okay, during the IPO. And you actually bought it at really good levels because currently you're sitting on a handsome profit there of 73,000.
My question is, I can hold for a long term, and now the shipping will be given in infrastructure status by the government in the coming budget.
Yes.
And looking at the geopolitical scenario and India's defense expenditures, what is the long-term prospect for this share? Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. Now, Manish, what do you have to say on Cochin Shipyard?
I think the guest has entered at a very, very good level.
Absolutely.
So I think from a longer term perspective, there is no doubt that the defense sector is a structural play. And if someone is willing to put in 3 to 5 years, I think many stocks in this sector could turn multi-baggers from a 3 to 5 year perspective. Now, especially talking about Cochin Shipyard, I believe that the kind of order book it has currently, I think execution from here on would be a key. And with the upcoming budget, I feel that the overall capex plan and the defense contribution in the overall budget is going to increase, which would also reflect in the order book which these companies would have going forward. So I feel if someone is willing to hold from a 3 to 4 year perspective, I think it's definitely a hold for me.
Okay, and Ravi, what do you have to say on Cochin Shipyard? Are these the correct levels to enter if somebody has not bought it yet for the short term?
Yeah, there is a range around to the 1250 level to current level, and if you may hold for 3 years, then I can say that this stock have a potential to do the multi-bagger returns on the same prices, right? So if you are a long-term investor, if you want to buy any shipping stock or Cochin Shipyard type of stocks, then this is the right time. You can accumulate, add, and also you can do the SIP type of investment in this stock, because this is a simple plain vanilla strategy and you earn multi-bagger returns in next 3 to 5 years. So my immediate target is about to the 1850 levels, and long-term target is 2600 again.
All right, so that's the view coming in on Cochin Shipyard. With that, we'll have to slip into a short break, viewers. Keep sending in your queries on WhatsApp and call in. We'll be right back for Ask Profit. Stay tuned to NDTV Profit. Well, Budget 2025 is around the corner, and Macquarie has come out with its budget estimates or expectations on each sector. The first sector is the banking space. They do not expect favorable treatment for deposits, and possible capital infusion for PSU banks and insurance companies might take place. Moving on to the next sector, NBFCs is the counter. Credit guarantees similar to SMEs for MFI sector can be expected. In the insurance company space, that is the next sector to watch out for. No change in tax rates or any product or any corporate profit tax rate change can be expected in this budget of 2025. The next sector to watch out for will be cement and metals, where they are expecting announcement on import duties to restrict imports on certain metals and certain materials. Moving on to the auto space, outlay for PM E-Drive and PLI can be expected. Policy initiative to drive localization of key EV related parts can also be expected. The next sector in focus would be the consumption space. Mid to high single digit increase in cigarette taxes can be expected. The budget, interim budget which was announced last time did not have any tax rate change in cigarettes, which is why we did see an uptick in stocks like ITC and VST. But this time you could see mid to high single digit increase in cigarette taxes. Reduction in taxes for low middle class consumers could take place, which could boost consumption in the rural as well as the urban spaces. Moving on to the next space, jewelry is the space where no reversal of custom duty cut on gold will take place. In last budget, there was a custom duty cut announced on gold, silver as well as platinum. There will be no reversal on this as per Macquarie. Moving on to the next space, pharma and healthcare, potential support for higher R&D via tax reduction can take place, and PLI for anti-diabetic and weight loss medication could also be one of the factors that the budget might consider. And modest increase in allocation for Ayushman Bharat is something that Macquarie is expecting from the pharma and the healthcare space. Infra is the next space. Capex allocation for key ministries like railways, roadways, etc. Can be expected in this budget, and announcements around additional dedicated freight corridors can also be expected in this budget 2025. Defense is another area where initiatives to boost defense exports can be expected, and announcements around that will be expected, and initiatives fastening domestic defense equipment procurement could also be one of the things to watch out for in this particular budget. Lastly, in terms of power, green energy thrust to continue. Steps to promote initiatives across the value chain, that is to promote green energy, might also be seen during this budget. Oil and gas is the last counter where Macquarie expects that OMC's compensation for LPG under recoveries might be seen. So these are Macquarie's expectation on different sectors as to how budget may come out with different changes in different sectors and how it may impact these sectors. Welcome back. You're watching Ask Profit on NDTV Profit. We are joined by Manish on the fundamentals and Ravi on the technicals. Viewers, this is your chance to get all your stock-related queries answered. So please pick up your phones and call us right away. The numbers are flashing on your screens right now. And also, we are getting to know that Reliance has come up with its Q3 numbers. So I'll quickly just go through the numbers there. Net profit is at 21,930 crore versus estimate of 18,337 crore, while the revenue is at 2.39 lakh crore versus estimate of 2.42 lakh crore. So those were the Reliance Q3 numbers there. Now let's go across to the caller who's calling us from Bengaluru. Hi Vivek, how can we help you?
Hi ma'am, good evening.
Good evening. Please go ahead with your query.
I am a big fan of NDTV Profit. Every day I used to watch. It's very informative.
I'm very happy to know that. Really sweet of you. Yes, please go ahead with your query.
I had a Pudumjee Paper limited stock.
Yes.
For 500 shares for 105 I brought it.
Okay.
And I sold 400 at 221 when it reached 221.
Right.
So now it is around 150. Since
150.
It's a cyclical stock.
Yes.
So I want to know whether I can reinvest on the same stock or shall I wait for it to reach a little lower level?
But are you planning to hold it for a longer period of time or a very short-term period?
Short term only, since it's a cyclical stock.
Yeah.
So short term, like 4 to 5
Okay,
months.
because I can see that you are sitting on a profit of almost 24,000 there. So, so Ravi, coming straight to you on this, how is Pudumjee Paper products faring on the charts, and should the investor stay invested, or and should he add more on these levels?
Yeah, definitely he can add also and put the stop loss of 130 rupees, because there is a very strong support territory at that level, and the next target would be the 180 to 200 again. So stock is good, momentum is good, so better to hold, and you can add also and give some time, maybe in next 30 or 45 days you may achieve this target.
Okay, so that's the view coming in by Ravi. Now we're getting a caller from Hyderabad. Hi Murli Krishna, how can we help you?
Yeah, hi.
Hi, please go ahead with your query.
Yeah, I have invested in Man Industries.
Yes.
493 stock.
Yes.
Share.
Yeah.
At the rate of 352.11. Can I hold them at I was in a loss of 17,000.
Yeah, I can see that. But were you also, like, when you bought it, so you bought it with a short-term perspective only?
No, it's for 1 year long-term.
Okay, but when did you exactly buy it? And now, considering the numbers, are you like feeling a bit jittery about it?
From 6 months, I'm averaging it, and now my average is 352.
Oh, okay. So I'll get your view on it. First, coming to you, Manish, since I've not been coming to you for some time now. So how are the fundamentals of Man Industries looking like?
I think the overall metal space, I think, is not going through a good time. And with this company into the LSAW and HSAW pipes, I think the overall end user demand is also not coming through. I feel at the current juncture, I feel with the demand visibility still not very strong at this point in time, and with the kind of pledge the company has of its shares, I think it would be better to exit this stock and enter into some other space rather than the pipe and the metal space. So if she wants to put her money into some other stock, I think the top pick at this point would be SBI for me. I think with the kind of earnings which are expected to come from this stock and the kind of correction which has happened from the top, I think the risk reward from a 1 year perspective looks very decent for this stock at these levels.
So sell coming in on Man Industries for long term. And Ravi, do you have the same opinion on it?
Yeah, you can also add SBI, but my suggestion is some different stocks that Man Industries trading 316 rupees. So I know ma'am pains, so I can suggest there is a one stock is NMDC. Right now is trading at 65 rupees. And my strategy, why I'm saying this, my strategy, because that 65 rupees is a comfortable zone and you can add more number of share into 316 rupees to 65 rupees, right? So there is a lot of probability that once it achieve the target of 85 or 90 rupees, then you may earn and you earn also recover your loss also. So my suggestion is that NMDC is a good bet to buy at this point of time, exit from Man Infra, and don't panic, wait for some time. Definitely you get the profit.
Yes, so exit from Man Industries and buy NMDC. That's the view coming in by Ravi. With that, let's go across to another caller who's calling us from Hyderabad. Hi Pradeep, how can we help you?
Hey, hi team, good evening.
Good evening. Please go ahead with your query.
Thank you. So actually I have bought Anand Rathi shares at 797 rupees. Around 300 shares. So I would like to, in short-term perspective only, I would like to hold at max like 6 months.
Okay.
So I would like, I'm seeing like there has been some consolidation happening, but I'm not sure whether it will break out or not.
Right.
So I would like to take the expert's view on it, like what should be the strategy.
Ravi, what do you have to say on Anand Rathi Limited? How is it faring on the charts?
See, chart is good. Daily chart is very aggressive from the upside. So I can suggest right now is trading 887. If you do the strategy, then put the stop loss of 860 for closing stop loss. Once it's closed below 860, then you take exit and book the profit of complete. Otherwise, you just put the target of again is 1000 rupees. So my point is that if I'm an investor, then I should wait for the 1000 levels, but with the strict stop loss. So that is the good strategy. Stock is good. Don't panic in this situation. I think in next 1 or 2 weeks, you may see uptrend again.
All right. So that's the view coming in on Anand Raj. Now we're getting a caller from Delhi. Hi, Jyoti. Jyoti?
I hold Bajaj Housing Finance.
Yes, yes.
803 share, 803. नंबर
आप हिंदी में कंफर्टेबल हैं बात करने में?
यस मैम.
हाँ, प्लीज बताइए.
मैम मैंने बजाज हाउसिंग खरीदा था आईपीओ में. देन आई एड अनदर मतलब और शेयर खरीदे थे. 803 हो गए मेरे पास. बट इज 140.
हाँ जी. तो मैं देख सकती हूँ अभी आपको 21,000 का नुकसान हो रहा है इस पे.
यस मैम.
तो आपको इसमें लॉन्ग टर्म व्यू चाहिए या शॉर्ट टर्म व्यू चाहिए?
बहुत मेरे को ये लॉन्ग टर्म ही रखना है.
ओके.
बट अगर बजट आने वाला है,
हाँ,
तो आपकी क्या राय रहेगी कि मुझे आगे क्या करना चाहिए इस चीज का?
Okay, so Manish, coming straight to you on this, how are the fundamentals of Bajaj Housing Finance looking like for the long term as our caller Jyoti is concerned, because she's sitting on a loss also. So what do you have to say to her?
I think Bajaj Housing, I think is one of the very expensive stock in the overall housing space at this point in time. I think the AUM growth for the company has come, but I think the kind of valuation it trades at, be it price to book, be it price to earnings, I think it is very high. In a similar space, if someone wants to invest, I think PNB Housing is something which one can look at. The valuation is very comfortable, and also with the upcoming budget, wherein we expect a higher focus on the affordable kind of housing segment, I think PNB Housing would be one of the better plays in the overall housing sector. So I think she should exit Bajaj Housing and enter into PNB Housing.
Right. And Jyoti, if you're listening to me right now, तो जो हमारे experts हैं वो ये बोल रहे हैं कि आप बजाज हाउसिंग से exit कर लीजिए, इसको बेच दीजिए और आप PNB हाउसिंग इसकी जगह खरीद लीजिए. With that, I think your query has been answered. Now we're getting a caller from Tamil Nadu. Hi Harshini, how can we help you?
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Please go ahead with your query.
I bought Dr. Red shares, 45 shares, and price of 1,370.
Okay.
Should I hold it or should I sell it?
But for a longer term or a short term?
Longer term.
Longer term. Okay. Again, Manish, coming to you. How is Dr. Reddy's performance according to you in the future? How it's going to pan out?
I think in the current market setup, if I want to talk about, I think the pharma sector looks one of the better placed with earnings visibility there across all the time frames, right from the shorter time frame to medium to long term. So this sectoral view on the pharma space is positive. Now coming to Dr. Reddy's, I feel this stock has many tailwinds going forward, both on the domestic side as well as on the global side. With the US generic pricing showing some improvement, I think the volumes in the US were always there. I think the pricing was of concern. I think in the last 1 or 2 quarters, the pricing has improved. So from here on, I think the US revenues would show an improvement. On the domestic side, I think the various therapies in which Dr. Reddy's cater to, I think all of them are showing good traction. So if someone is willing to hold this stock from a 1-year perspective, I think it's a hold for me.
Hold on TRL there. With that, let's go across to another caller from Karnataka. Hi Shekhar. Thanks for speaking to NDTV Profit.
Hi ma'am, good evening ma'am.
Good evening. Please go ahead with your query.
Ma'am, KPI Green Energy.
Yes.
Ma'am, stock 795, average price of 599 ma'am. 6 month old ma'am, starter ma'am. 2 days back ma'am, Altro CCP order ma'am, seller word ma'am.
Right, because I can see Shekhar, you're sitting on a loss of almost 1.3 lakh rupees there.
Yes ma'am, 1,30,000 ma'am.
Yes. So if I talk about KPI Green's last 1 year's performance, so it has been up 37.36%, and today also the stock was up almost over 1% there, but in the past 1 month, it has been down 19%, over 19% in fact. So, Ravi, how is KPI Green looking to you on the charts?
Ma'am, chart structure is not good on daily chart or weekly chart. Most of the indicator are indicating in downward channel, and it may achieve the target of 380 rupees. So my suggestion is that take exit from here. But in this point of time, there is a one positive stocks, and they have a create some positive news also and chart breakout also. That is a Adani Power. Right now is trading 500 plus levels, but they have enough potential or enough chart consolidation that they achieve the target of 680 to 690 levels. So better put the stop loss of 540, enjoy the volatility and switch your position so you achieve at least you recover your loss. So this is my suggestion. Switch to Adani Power.
Okay, switch to Adani Power is the view coming in by Ravi. Now with that, let's go across to another caller. Hi, Sachin. Sachin?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Please go ahead with your query.
My query is regarding Deepak Nitrite.
Okay.
So I hold 41 shares at the average price of 1,900.
Right.
My query is, should I book my profit now, or is it good to wait for another 2 years? I can hold.
Okay.
But,
and when exactly did you buy it?
1.5 years back.
1.5 years. So you've already been holding it for some time. So, but how long can you go ahead with it? Another 2 years?
Yes, I can hold another 2 years if the news is positive for this stock.
All right. Manish, if you could take that one, Deepak Nitrite, how are the fundamentals of this company looking like?
I think the overall chemical space has not done very well in the last few quarters. I think lots of global destocking was happening, and I think we are nearing an end to it. Also, most of the specialty chemicals are the prices of specialty chemicals globally is showing some signs of bottoming out. So from here on, I think the volumes for the business is there, but if the prices also show some upward trend, I think in the next few quarters, I think the numbers would show an upward trajectory. Also, I feel that the kind of environmental restrictions which are there in China, I think India stands to benefit from that also in the overall chemical space. So I think if someone is willing to hold from a 2-year perspective, I think at these levels, it's a hold for me.
Okay, so that's a hold coming in because I can see Sachin was sitting on a profit of 19,000 and that's what he was asking, whether he should book profits or not. So Manish, do you suggest him to book profits or do you suggest him to hold only for another 1 or 2 years?
I think I would suggest a hold from a 2-year perspective.
All right. Okay, so we are getting a caller from Bengaluru. Hi, Hegre.
थैंक यू मैडम. मेरे पास 3,000 शेयर है एक ओकार फार्मा का.
ओके.
380 रुपए में हम बाई किया हूँ.
ओके.
अभी 1,360 रुपए चल रहा है.
जी.
पहले 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 दिन के पहले 1,580 रुपए गया था.
हाँ.
अभी 360 है. हम क्या करना? अभी 1 साल रख सकता हूँ मैं.
पहली बात तो मैं आपको कंग्रेचुलेट करना चाहूँगी कि आपने इतने अच्छे लेवल्स पहले तो स्पॉट किए स्टॉक को खरीदने में. 380 में आपने खरीदा है, अभी 1300 कुछ में ये स्टॉक अभी ट्रेड. हाँ एग्जैक्टली. और आपको अभी प्रॉफिट हो रहा है अप्रॉक्सीमेटली 30 लाख रुपए का. सो कंग्रेचुलेशंस टू यू ऑन दैट. मनीष, शुड द caller, Mr. Hegre, stay invested? Should he hold it for another 2-3 years or should he book his profits?
No, I think the viewer has entered at fantastic levels. I think I would suggest to book that profit. My suggestion would be it is better to move from Wokhard to something like a Dr. Reddy in the larger cap space, and in the mid and small, I think Piramal Pharma also looks good to me from a 2 to 3 year perspective. So I think it is better to book profits at these kind of levels.
Okay, as we're running short of time, we're going to quickly take one more caller from Kanpur. Hi Gaurav, how can we help you?
Yeah, very good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Please go ahead with your query.
Yeah, actually, I'm having a Sula Vineyards at 550.
Okay.
And I'm holding a 300 shares of it.
Yes.
I just wanted to know for a holding period of 1 year how the stock will behave.
Yeah. Because currently I can see that you're sitting on a loss of 52,000 there. So quickly, yeah, Manish, if you could answer that query, Sula Vineyards for another 1 year outlook.
I think Sula had its own fair share of negative news flows which has affected the stock performance in the past. But I think from a fundamental perspective, I think the counter looks good. I think the kind of return ratios, the kind of earnings it has shown in the past, I think if someone is willing to hold from a 1 year perspective, I think Sula Wine at the current levels looks good to me. So I think it's a hold for me.
Okay, so that's a hold on Sula Vineyards for long term. And Ravi, do you have the same opinion for short term?
I think stock is in a downward channel, so accept it. Now the next target would be the 320 to 340 level. So I think you should exit. And if you want to add, then FACT is FACT. FACT is one of the stock who have a more potential, and now the budget expectation is also going on. So I can add that stock, not this stock.
Okay, so a hold for long term but a sell for short term. That's the view coming in on Sula Vineyards. With that, let's go across to another caller from Hyderabad. Hi Dinesh, how can we help you? Dinesh, can you hear me? Okay, I think we've lost the line there, but we have his query. He wants to know whether it's the right time to invest Sagility. He hasn't mentioned the time frame though, so one by one I'd come to you. Ravi, first, Sagility for short term, is it the right time to enter?
I don't think so. We may wait some time because the next target would be the 42 or 40 levels. That may be a track, but should ask again in a Ask Profit program.
Right. And Manish, what is your view on it?
I think the stock has run up very well in the past few weeks. So I think at the current levels, the valuations doesn't justify a buy at this price. So I would say it's not a buy for me at this point.
It's a buy for you at this point?
No.
Not a buy. Okay.
Not a buy.
All right. Okay, with that, let's go across to another caller. Hi, Neeraj.
Hi, ma'am.
Good evening. Please go ahead with your query.
Very good evening. Very good evening, madam.
Yes.
Actually, madam, I bought 750 shares of Godrej Properties.
Okay.
In March 2017.
Right.
At the rate of 375.
Okay.
And it made a profit of 3600.
Yeah.
So, can it fetch 10,000 rupees within 2 years? Okay.
Yes, because I can see that you're sitting on a very handsome profit there of almost 15 lakh. So congratulations on that. Manish, coming to you, how are the fundamentals of Godrej Properties looking like?
I think Godrej Properties is one of the better managed real estate companies we have. I think the kind of land bank it has, the kind of projects it has launched in the past, and also the project pipeline across various cities. I think the longer term outlook for Godrej Properties looks very good to me. Also, my sense is that in the upcoming budget, we would see some incentives which would boost the housing demand as well. And also, in the calendar year 2025, I expect RBI to cut rates. So I think that would be another sectoral tailwind to the overall housing sector. So I feel Godrej Properties is a hold from me from a 1 to 2 year perspective.
That's a hold view coming in on Godrej Properties for 1 to 2 years. And Ravi, what do you have to say on the short term?
Ma'am, there is a good strategy. If you have enough profit, then profit book strategy is good. If you have required this money or you have any target, then book at least partial profit. Maybe is a 40% or 60%, because I'm looking the next level is 2000 or 2100 level. So better trend is your friend. Book your profit, and once it achieve again the 2100 or 2000 level, then you have enough opportunity to enter again.
Okay, so book your profits is the view coming in by Ravi. With that, let's go across to the caller from Bengaluru. Okay, I'm sorry. It's a WhatsApp query from Venkatesh. He writes to us from Bengaluru. He says that he's bought 120 stocks of Kalyan Jewellers at the price of 655. And as I can remember, earlier Citi had retained buy on Kalyan Jewellers, but currently our Mr. Venkatesh is sitting on a loss of almost 14,000 there. He hasn't mentioned the time frame again. So coming to you, Ravi, on this, how is Kalyan Jewellers looking on the charts?
It's continuous in downtrend. Better to take an exit strategy, because the next target would be the 480. So now trend is still in a downtrend. Don't search opportunity to buy here, because the stock is in a negative territory. So better take exit. If you want to buy, then buy some banking stocks like Bank of Baroda or Canara Bank, or we have discussed in Adani Power also, but not this stock. So better take exit.
All right. And Manish, a very quick view on Kalyan Jewellers for long term.
I think the Kalyan Jewellers, I think in the past few days has seen a lot of selling. I believe that selling has come from the institutional side more because the kind of run-up which the stock had in the last 2 years, I think some profit booking was warranted at those levels. Now, coming to fundamentals, I feel that the kind of business update which the company had I think 2 to 3 days back, the business update was fantastic on all fronts, be it profitability, be it the expansion of these stores. So I feel from a longer term perspective, I do not sense anything wrong in the overall business as such. So if someone is willing to hold from a longer term perspective, it's a hold for me.
Okay, so that's a hold view coming in on Kalyan Jewellers for the long term. And with that, I'm afraid that we are running out of time. But thank you, Manish and Ravi, for sparing 1 hour for our show and helping our viewers with their queries. Thank you so much. And viewers, that's all the time we had on this edition of Ask Profit. We always try our best to take as many queries as possible, but the queries that got missed will be addressed in tomorrow's show definitely. So keep watching Ask Profit on NDTV Profit.
It's nearly time for Budget 2025, and what that means is that there are a lot of proposals that are coming through to the Finance Minister, and among them, there are proposals from the mutual fund industry as well. I'll talk about 3 key changes that they are suggesting. One is a rollback in the tax rates that was announced last year. Of course, last year, the capital gains tax, long-term and short-term, was increased to 12.5% and 20% respectively. The mutual fund industry is saying a rollback to the previous rates would be beneficial because it would incentivize more investors to come through and invest, and those people that have come into the investment fold into the mutual fund industry over the past couple of years will be rewarded for their patience and for their investments. The second proposal has to do with the tax treatment on debt mutual funds. Currently, all capital gains emerging from debt mutual funds are taxed at slab rate, and what that means is that depending on which income slab you fall in, if you're in the highest tax slab and you're paying 30% on the income above a certain threshold, your gains from debt mutual funds are also taxed at 30%. That wasn't always the case. Long-term capital gains came into effect after a period of 3 years, and they were taxed at 20% with indexation benefits. Of course, that doesn't remain